What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. Now, as I always say, you get two choices. The ability to settle in the life that has been designed for you, or pave the path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So, hey, look, the title of this video is going to be on the fact that as humans, oftentimes when they discover something about you that's different from how they live, you got to give them time to process. And I say that to say, like, honestly, my family never really had a problem with nothing that I did in my life. I just truly think that they wanted someone from me that was aligned up with God, the universe, Allah, whoever you choose to pray to. Like, sometimes there will be people in your life who are wiser at the moment because of the lessons they need to learn, and they see that, you know, you're maybe going in the same footsteps and they want better for you. And maybe the way they say it or how they come off may seem offensive or harsh, but in reality, they just want what's best for you. And I think truly I don't think it was ever an issue about the gender that I decided to talk to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, my mom seen it early. I felt it early. You know what I'm saying? The things I chose to do in my life, I just truly believe they wanted me to have a chance to explore, but be able to have someone in my life that was God orientated. You know what I'm saying? Because when you live your life, you know, in a God version or universe, whatever you choose to pray to or call it, you know what I'm saying? You see things differently. You know, you have the ability to understand differently. You introspect differently. You know what I'm saying? You look at life differently. You're able to, you know, have accountability. You understand when you're wrong, and you don't take that out on nobody. You got to think about it. Often people are karmics, you know what I'm saying? And they don't have those traits. Like, they can't look at when they're wrong. They can't take accountability. They always think they're right. You know what I'm saying? And those are people that truly, I believe, haven't found God yet. You know, they're still living in the version of themselves based off of their trauma and how they grew up. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is you tend to prey on people that you can use or control. You know what I'm saying? You don't really want to rock with them for who they are. You only want to use them for how they can contribute to you. You know? And that, I think that's a lot of the difference in a lot of people these days. I think truly you got to really want to be with somebody that operates out of God's light, because when that's the case, you know what I'm saying, you will never be something that they can control or be possessive over. It's more so like, okay, I have the same traits that they have, or I'm different in some areas that they are, but if we come together, we can complement each other. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed that a lot in my life. Like, it was never a problem on some of the things and choices that I made. Like, I never really got no backlash for it. It was just more so like, you know, when people who are older than you, they're wise. They've went through things before you did, and maybe they don't know how to explain a better way for you because they don't know the better way. So they just tend to accept whatever it is, you know, and sometimes it may be confusing to you because you don't understand, but over time, as you grow older, it'll start to all make sense. And I noticed that, like, none of my friends, you know what I'm saying, at the time, none of my family members, nobody ever like got on me for the way I chose to live life. You know what I'm saying? It would maybe intriguing to them. It may be like, dang, it's different, but they was never like, oh, you feel me, you shouldn't do that, do this. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they even tried to convince me to do things that they were doing. And I think that was all part of the plan, you know? But now I'm older. I know exactly what I want. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's going to take to get it, and I'm not settling for less. You know what I'm saying? But again, oftentimes you got to give people a chance to be able to understand something they may not have never thought, because it's not normal. It goes against everything that they've learned or taught. And sometimes they won't explain that to you, but when they first experience it, they'll act irrational until over time it'll just start to, you feel me, wear off on them. You know what I'm saying? They'll start to just be like, oh, okay, whatever. And I noticed that about my family. So I don't really think they were judgmental. I just think truly, like, they wanted someone, especially my grandma, you know what I'm saying, wanted someone to be with me that was of God, you know, because if that's what you look for the people after you, it means there are some things maybe inside of you that you cannot heal, and it's messing up the bloodline, and you see it and you know it, but you don't want to admit that because your ego and your pride is too high. So hopefully you can give the game to someone after you so that they can be able to heal it by being with someone of God. And like I said, those are people that have just connected to who they are and have accepted who they are, and they're able to look at life in a version where they don't deal with anything that's toxic. They only deal with things that's going to help them elevate, that's going to help them grow. You know, someone that understands them, where they come from. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, ain't nobody perfect. Healing is lifelong. So there may be a time, like for me personally, where I may have a moment where I'm triggered. But for me, I'm going to tell you, listen, I was triggered right now. So I needed to just get that out because I was having a triggered moment. And how you respond to that is let me know what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But again, sometimes people don't even understand when they're triggered. So when you become triggered, they automatically go against that with anger. You know what I'm saying? And life too short for that. So I just feel as if I don't think I know I'm going in the right direction by just healing myself and taking the time to heal what needs to be healed, so that, you know what I'm saying, I could align with someone that's of God for me. You know what I'm saying? They know what they want out of life. They know what it's going to take to get there. You know what I'm saying? They have triggers too, but they, you know what I'm saying, done the work to be able to not spill that on to someone else. You know what I'm saying? Listen, to know someone is to be able to understand them. And I say that to say, listen, Nipsey Hussle and Lauren London are both fire signs. He's a Leo, she a Sagittarius. My granny is a Sagittarius. Leos get on my nerves, but these fire signs, I promise you, they balance out water. It's just that you have to be able to understand yourself enough to understand that. So I'm pretty sure they had moments too where they didn't get along, but I'm pretty sure that when you know yourself, you know how to counteract that. You know what I'm saying? So I have a lot of people in my family, like my cousin, you know what I'm saying? He's the same sign as his wife. You know what I'm saying? And they balance each other out. So again, I feel as if it's nothing wrong with that sign stuff will have you confused. Like the internet will have you confused. You got to know what you want to go after what you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm really a person that I'm a Cancer, and I think I deserve to have another Cancer in my life because we get along and we balance each other out so well. In my whole life, I have come into contact with so many Cancers. You know what I'm saying? And I know that they're a Cancer right off the back. You feel me? And it's crazy and it's weird. But now that I'm older, I kind of vibe with Leos too. I kind of vibe with Sagittarius and Aries, like all the fire signs. Like, because again, that fire sometimes levels out the water. And sometimes the water needs to level out the fire because they be too turned up. Now, I'm not excusing any other signs. You feel me? Because everybody has every sign placement in who they are. You know what I'm saying? It's just you may validate with one higher than the other. You know what I'm saying? But listen, and understand that if you get with someone or you form your relationships off of people that have a spiritual connectedness with God, it'll be easier to sustain those relationships and sustain those connections, because we too old to not be taking accountability. We too old to, you feel me, be going in the wrong direction and acting like we ain't did nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? We are too old to be, you know what I'm saying, not being able to try a different way when one way don't work. You know what I'm saying? We need solutions, not problems. You know what I'm saying? It's time where we need to be at peace in our life. And the only way you can understand that is you have to be understanding of all knowledge in your life. And you have to be understanding of God first. Because when you have God in your life, I promise, it makes you understand what's important. And that is detaching from things that hurt you, or detaching from things that you feel you may need in your life to define who you are. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you look at life from a soul aspect. And over time, once you do that enough, you start to help repair the bloodline of where maybe certain things stopped not only the person that started it, but everybody else after that. You know what I'm saying? And they usually oftentimes pass away with withholding those things in. You know what I'm saying? It's complicated, but it's really not. So I have to really get a standing ovation for that, because like I never really had no problems with nobody in my family. Like they never judged me, or maybe they did when I wasn't around, but when I was in front of them, it was never, nobody ever, you feel me, talked about me or didn't take in who I was with. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they formed closer bonds with the people that I was with versus me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what's going on here? But again, it's having an openness and understanding with God. And when you do that, you can be open to every part of who you are, not just the parts of you that's comfortable for you. Because then what happens is, blocking yourself off from that part of you, you tend to only want to be with people you can control. Only want to be around people you can finesse. You know what I'm saying? Only want to dominate and be possessive, instead of understanding that you can bond your life with someone else that may be on, you know what I'm saying, grew up differently, or you feel me, but share the same soul, but y'all have God in your life. You know what I'm saying? So that, and how they may have grew up and how you may have grew up, is not the foundation of their life, because those demons start to show later on down the line. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you getting in front of them and knowing how to control them when they might peek their head out a little bit, because life is frustrating, it's complicated, it's not always easy. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to face the hard road, as far as the easy road too. Like when it's good, but there may be moments when it ain't good. How do you handle yourself in those type of situations? You know what I'm saying? That's important. And I feel as if like God plays a very big role in that, you know. And if you have him on your side and you have him in your life, you know what I'm saying, it will make life a lot easier, versus you being with someone who is, should I say, a karmic. Like they only look at life from the things that have hurt them and damaged them. And so you may think they may be the perfect person or the person for you, but after you be around them for so long, you'll start to see like they're damaged so much by their past. Their actions are displayed from a karmic standpoint, which means they will basically project everything in the past onto you and how they want to see you, but just to control you and take from you, instead of actually evenly pouring into each other. You know, so I had to really give like kudos and respect to the people I grew up with, because no one ever judged me or told me I couldn't live my life a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I just know how important it is now to have God in my life. It makes things so much easier. You look at life from such a different standpoint than when you don't have it. When you don't have it, you judge people, you know what I'm saying? You're depressed, you let people take advantage. Like, it's such an advantage to have that. So listen, for anybody out there, never look at people judging you for what you choose to do, but more so how they want better for you. And you'll have a different perception when you look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.